Hello students, welcome to our channel. After giving much thought, we have decided that the first video of our channel will be about basics of chemistry. So why basics of chemistry is because there are many students who feel that chemistry is difficult. They feel chemistry is difficult because they are not good enough with the basics of chemistry, or they are not good at basics. So what we have thought is, let us start with the basics of chemistry. So in basics of chemistry, first we are dealing with the topic which is elements, compounds and mixtures. So let us understand first what is element, what is compound, what is mixture, what is molecule, because many of the students, they are in their A levels and AS levels, but some of them, they are still confused between elements and like molecules, compounds. They have little doubt in these topics. So starting with elements. The elements are the substances that are made up of atoms that can contain same proton number and can't be split into something simpler. So elements are something which have same number of protons. Okay, the substance is made up of atoms. So suppose this is an element. Okay, this element has atoms. Okay, this has atoms which have same number of protons, or you can say they have same atomic number. So elements consist, or it is made up of atoms which have same number of protons and cannot be further divided. It cannot be further divided. Then after that we have compounds. Compounds are made up of two or more elements. For example, when you combine two or more elements, they give rise to a compound. Suppose you mix elements like hydrogen and oxygen. So when hydrogen and oxygen combine, they give us water. Water, which is a compound. So when elements chemically react, they give us compound. Then coming to mixtures when two or more substances that aren't chemically combined. See, this thing is important. So when two or more substances are combined, but they are not combined chemically, they are physically combined. Okay, and they can also be separated by physical methods. They are called as mixtures. They are called as mixtures. Okay, and like elements are made up of atoms, similarly compounds are made up of molecules. For example, you have H2O compound. H2O compound. Now this H2O compound is made up of H2O molecules. Okay, fine. So if you see here, matter has pure substances and mixtures. Okay, now the pure substances are divided into elements and compounds. You can see here, elements are these atoms. Then compounds, elements combine to form a compound here. Then in mixture you have substances which are physically combined. So in mixture you have homogeneous mixture and you also have heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture is like suppose if you are mixing salt and water. So when you mix salt and water, after mixing it, you don't find any leftover in the glass of water. So they are like thoroughly mixed. So when they can be combined thoroughly, that is called homogeneous mixture. That they can be dissolved. For example, you take a solute and solvent, it is properly dissolved. Then that is called homogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture, when solute and solvent cannot be dissolved properly, that is called heterogeneous mixture. See, homo means same. Hetero means they are not combined properly. Here example of heterogeneous mixture is sand and water. Now if you see here, you will find images which show how a mixture of elements is. This is a mixture of elements. Here you have two different elements. Okay, one are these blue atoms. They belong to one element, and these white ones, they belong to another element. So this is mixture of elements. Again, here mixture means that they are not chemically combined, they are just physically combined. Okay, Then you have mixture of compounds. See, these are compounds. See, this is different compound, this is different compound, this is different compound. So the ones which have two atoms or two elements, that is one compound, and these are different compounds. Okay. Yeah. So this is mixture of compounds, and here you have mixture of elements and compounds. Why? Because see here you can see elements which have single atoms. Now here and here you have different compounds. This is different compound, and these are different compounds. So this is mixture of elements and compounds. See here, mixture of elements, neon and oxygen. Mixture of compounds, you have CO2 and H2O here. Mixture of elements and compounds. Okay, so you have elements like oxygen, and you have compounds like carbon dioxide and H2O as well. So these are called as mixture of compounds. So sometimes you get a question based on these things. They give you an image and ask whether it is mixture of compounds, or it is mixture of elements, or is it mixture of elements and compounds. So I hope you are clear with elements, compounds and mixtures. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, which is atomic structure and the periodic table. Atomic structure and the periodic table. Now when it comes to atomic structure, all the substances are made up of tiny particles of matter which are called atoms. We know that everything here is made up of atoms. Whatever you see from your naked eyes and which you cannot see from your naked eyes, everything is made up of atoms. So each atom has a subatomic particle which is called proton, neutron and electron. So every atom has a subatomic particles which are called proton, neutrons and neutron. Proton, electrons and neutrons. I think you are familiar with this. But if you see here, if you see the structure of the atom, just give me a second. Let us suppose this is an atom, and it has some orbits. Yeah. So it has a nucleus in the center. I'll mark the nucleus with red. It has nucleus in the center. Fine. In this nucleus you have the proton and neutron. Okay. In this nucleus you have proton and neutron, and around the nucleus you have orbits. These are called as orbits. Okay, these circles are called as orbits. Now these are the electrons revolve in these orbits around the nucleus. ये जो electrons है, these electrons revolve around the nucleus in the orbit. So an atom can have one orbit, two orbits, three orbits. It depends on the number of electrons it is having. Okay, so we'll learn that eventually. For now, let us just understand कि जो atom है, atom के अंदर protons है, electrons है and neutrons है. जो center part है atom का, the central part में you have protons and neutrons. So the protons and neutrons are present in nucleus. Okay, and around the nucleus you have orbits, and in these orbits electrons revolve. Okay, so the electrons move very fast around the nucleus in orbital parts called shells. So they can be called as orbitals, or they can also be called as shells. Mass of the electrons is negligible, hence the mass of the atom is contained within the nucleus where protons and neutrons are located. So if you see the mass of electrons, the mass of electrons is very less. It is very less. Okay, it is kind of negligible. Now, when you see the mass of protons and neutrons, the protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus, right? So you can say the mass of the atom is because of the nucleus present. The mass of the atom is because of the nucleus present. Relative atomic mass unit is 1/12th mass of carbon 12 atom. So we have a unit which is called relative atomic mass unit. So this relative atomic mass unit is considered as one unit. One mass unit is considered as 1/12th mass of carbon 12 atom. Yeah, one relative atomic mass unit is considered as 1/12th of mass of carbon 12 atom. Okay. Now, why only carbon? Why only carbon? Because scientists, has choose carbon because of its, perfect mass, and there are some other things in, there are some reasons, other reasons behind this. So let us, for now, just understand that to, weigh the mass of an atom, to measure the mass of an atom, we use relative atomic mass unit. Now, this relative atomic mass unit is equals to 1/12th mass of carbon 12 atom. All the elements are measured relative to the mass of carbon 12 atom. So the relative atomic mass has no units. Okay. So relative atomic mass, it is having no units. It is used just to measure the mass of the atom. It is for our reference, so that we can measure the mass of an atom. Now let us see the relative mass and charge of protons, neutrons, and electrons. So the proton has, as the name suggests, proton is positive. Okay, neutrons are neutral, electron is negative. So the charge of proton is plus, positive, and the charge of electron is negative. Okay, fine. Okay, so I think you are listening to the video very carefully, because all these things are very important. And we'll just end the video when we are done with this proton number and mass number. I want to divide the video in 3 parts, so that you are focused in the class, and you'll listen to it very carefully, and it should be bite-sized. Like if I give all the information at once, it might be hectic for you. So I've just divided them into 3 parts. So this is going to be the first part of the video. Yeah. So the proton number. These two are very important, proton number and the mass number. ये proton number क्या है? Proton number is the proton number can also be called as atomic number. It is the number of protons in the nucleus. Okay. So जैसा मैंने कहा था कि this is nucleus, right? So this nucleus will have number of protons, right? So the number of protons in the nucleus is called as proton number. It can also be called as atomic number. So the symbol for atomic number is Z. The symbol for atomic number is Z. The number of electrons present in the neutral atom and determine the position of element in the periodic table. So basically, ये जो proton number है, ये proton number will decide the position of the position of the element in the periodic table, not like your marks. Okay. This number will decide the position in the periodic table, not like your marks. Now coming to mass number. Mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons. The mass number is sum of protons and neutrons. Okay. So ये जो mass number है, as you can see, it is sum of protons and neutrons. It is the nucleus, right? As I said कि जो nucleus है, nucleus consists of the mass of the atom. The mass of the atom is because of the nucleus. तो इसलिए हम लोग मास नंबर में क्या कंसिडर कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे? वी आर कंसिडरिंग द सम ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स. ओके, एंड मास नंबर इज डिनोटेड एज ए न्यूक्लियन मास और मास नंबर. यू कैन कॉल इट एज न्यूक्लियन मास, यू कैन कॉल इट एज मास नंबर. ओके, सो इट इज द सम ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स एंड न्यूट्रॉन्स. Now, see here, one more thing. The number of electrons is equals to the number of protons in a neutral atom. अगर आप एक neutral atom consider करेंगे, if you consider a neutral atom, you will find that the number of electrons is equals to number of protons. So you can say that if you have proton number, let us suppose that the proton number of element, there is an element जिसका proton number जो है let us suppose 10 है, तो इसमें number of electrons भी 10 रहेंगे and number of protons भी कितने रहेंगे? Yes, 10. Okay. अच्छा, we know that the mass number is sum of protons and neutrons. We also know that proton number is number of electrons or number of protons in an atom. But what if I want to find the number of neutrons in an atom? तो अगर मुझे number of neutrons find out करना है तो how can I do it? उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? देखिए, what is mass number? Mass number is denoted by A, but mass number is sum of neutrons plus protons. Yes, mass number is sum of neutrons and protons, and the proton number is number of protons, let us suppose. So if I subtract A minus Z, can I get number of neutrons? Yes. So this minus P and plus B gets cancelled, I get N. So if you want to find out number of neutrons, again use this formula. It is for number of neutrons in an atom. So that's it for today. In next video, we'll understand how the atomic number will decide the position of the element in the periodic table, and how the elements are denoted in the periodic table, how the electronic configuration is done, and other things. Okay, so see you in the next video.